Metaphors. We all love a great metaphor, right? So today is all about using metaphors creatively to help with our hypnosis client breakthroughs. So what we're going to do today is talk about metaphors, what not to do, what to do, and how to actually help our clients when they present the metaphor. And I'm going to start off with saying that really utilizing metaphors to their advantage is only powerful if the metaphor came from our clients, which is actually going to start off with what not to do, the discussion of what not to do. So you're in your hypnosis sessions and say your client is working on sugar addiction, right? Sugar addiction, they want to stop eating sugar all the damn time and they want to be able to no longer think about sugar in particular and food in general. And so your client comes to you and says, hey, I want to help with sugar addiction. You get into the session with your client, and then they start talking as you're exploring their problem in the hypnotic interview. They start saying, it's just whenever I think about sugar and think of what to eat, I just feel like I am trying to climb this tree and I don't know where I'm going, blah, 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 right? And so within that discussion, and you are really, really noticing a lot more unconscious information coming out from your clients as they're talking about the metaphor, their state changes, right? How their speed changes when it comes to actually talking about it. They're slowing down more. You're seeing a lot of unconscious moments um, visually, as well as you can hear a lot of differences in how they express themselves, meaning they're really getting into some unconscious territory and they're talking about climbing that tree and not knowing where they're going as they're somehow talking about food or sugar addiction, right? And so this is what not to do. What not to do is think of your own metaphor as a practitioner that you've learned from someone else, or even your own metaphor, and say, okay, now that you are in this tree, what does this tree symbolize that has you now stopping your sugar addiction? And now that, really, like, that sounds really weird already when I'm trying to do it. I can't even do it because it's so weird and awkward, right? Um, these things really need to be in the moment. And how we can be in the moment is just utilizing what our clients give us. It's not up to us to make up a better metaphor for them. It's not up to us to expand the metaphor. It is up to the client to expand that metaphor and put the puzzle pieces together. So instead of us thinking about it or pulling out the metaphors of trees and the beautiful trees and the leaves or whatever it is that you have in your arsenal, take a step back and put that to aside and instead really just listen to what your clients are telling you about the metaphor, because a really, really fun conversation can happen with regards to that tree, right? Ask them about the tree, like, why do they need to climb the tree, right? Like, where are they? Are they still climbing right now? Are they, where are they at in the tree? Are they the bottom? Are they at the top? Or are they trying to go? Um, why do they think that climbing up the tree is important? How do they get there? How did the conversation somehow end up from talking about sugar to now talking about a tree, climbing up the tree? Right? Those are really the things that you want to focus on. And this is what we focus on inside our conversational hypnosis sessions. Even though it's conversational, we're not trying to add things to the conversation. We are allowing our clients to add their own interpretation, which is a subtle but massive difference, because this is what truly helps our clients to break through that problem. And so when a client does give us that metaphor, instead of making shit up because we can, or we know something about trees and metaphors about trees, instead of doing that, what we want to do is just be curious, right? Be like, how did that happen? How did you start climbing this tree? And asking clients questions with regards to the metaphor and just keeping them in that moment by asking about it, right? A challenge for you. And this is actually a challenge. Like it makes sense, but when you're in the heat of the moment, when you're sitting with your client, it ain't that easy, especially if you're still starting to learn the skill. Of course, it gets better with time. But what newer conversational hypnosis students actually experience is that when they're put in the situation, it's a bit awkward and a bit more challenging to actually keep your clients in the moment. So, how long can you keep your clients in the moment before their conscious mind butts in and distracts, right? Or tries to, their conscious mind is also trying to interpret something that is unconscious. So really the tips that I wanna give you here when working with metaphors is just to, like, for yourself, be playful about it and be curious about it. It's not, again, not up to us to expand the metaphor. It is up to the clients, and how we have the clients actually expand that metaphor is to keep asking them questions. That is it. It's a very simple principle. Ask them about the tree. All right, so what kind of tree is it? All right, something random. What kind of tree is it? And is this the how? What does this tree smell like? Or something, right? Really just have fun with it and just allow your clients to be in that moment, because the unconscious mind is very, very deliberate, right? Especially when you're seeing a lot of unconscious information and your client is really starting to be in that wonderful um trance from asking questions and really diving deep into the problem. They are gonna be able to answer you questions. That's the unconscious mind playing around. So you just really wanna work with it, right? You want to have the unconscious mind expand, because eventually with time, what's gonna happen is that somehow that metaphor is going to unravel and the client will get something from it. Will, because there's a reason for when it comes up, right? It's not an accident. Everything is connected. And this is how we find the root cause. This is how we find the client's root cause. And sometimes this might not even happen within the session. But as long as you do a great job with keeping your client in that metaphor and just asking them questions about the metaphor, that is really what's going to help them have that aha moment, have that breakthrough. And sometimes it could be within the session, sometimes it could be days, weeks, or even a month. But the more, this is really a difficult concept at first to really think about, but as long as you kept your clients in that moment, as long as you are testing at the end of the session, as long as you have um a sign that the that there is a change unconsciously, and there's a very specific way to learn this, and we're going to talk about testing. That's a whole video in and of itself. But testing actually makes a big impact as well. So yeah, so very, very easy. I could have just said, just put your client's attention in that metaphor and ask them questions about it. But there are a lot of nuances, and there are a lot of um minute things that is very difficult to grasp until you actually see it in action. And that's why the conversational hypnosis trainings are very much focused on demos, because you got to see this in action. Me just talking to you about it, yes, you'll grasp it, and yes, you can definitely use this as soon as you can. Whenever your next client session is and they give you a metaphor, just ask them questions about it. It can tremendously really help your results. But at the same time, these things need to be repetitively seen through actual live demos, and that's why ASH training is live and has a course component as well. The next one is the 3rd to the 5th of April, Australia time. And if you are wanting to really speed up your client results as fast as possible in as little as one session, with client results in as little as immediately, and even better within weeks' time, if you want your client result to actually compound and get better over time. And them coming to you for sugar addiction isn't just the thing that you actually help them with, you actually help them with their relationships, of course, with their health as a result of it. But also, what if the things that come up in the session, that big metaphor for climbing up a tree, is also applicable to their career, right? What if you also help that client with food addiction and then maybe potentially get them a raise in their job? That is very, very typical for conversational hypnosis results because we are all about not fucking around and just really directly communicating with the unconscious mind to help our clients get to the root faster. So if you're interested in the training, it is open now for enrollment, especially for the live coming up in less than 2 months from now. And these trainings are very much fun. Students are getting amazing, amazing results, such as one student who completely helped transform a client's life by stopping their panic attacks in just one session. That's right, it is possible. So, very amazing things, much more impact that you can make with your clients, faster results with less effort for you because we are not making shit up. Like I said here, we're not expanding the client's metaphor, we are literally taking a step back and just guiding and asking our clients questions towards them finding their own answers. No techniques, we're very anti-technique. And again, it's just so much fucking fun. So come join us. The program is $9.97 only for the amount of value that you have with course lifetime access. So I can't wait to see you there. If you have any questions at all, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Let's make a massive impact together, one conversation at a time.